Geek Shock. Geek Shock.
I am now 290.
290.
Dun, dun, dun.
290.
Wow. That's
Free hundo. And I don't even look like those 300-pound people you see walking around. It just...
No, you don't look that
Except
at all.
290.
Really?
Yes. Not my heaviest.
Well, you know, I'll throw a secondary thing. I reached my book reading goal of the year.
2 months early.
50 books I hit this week.
Wow.
For the year, and the 50th book was Mike Cole's book that we talked about last week.
I certainly tried to.
And that fat out of this big bone.
Well, going to the classics. Welcome, folks, to Geek Shock number 411. I'm Master Torgo.
80s Jeff.
Andy K.
Oh, Jesus.
Fact checked Andy.
A fatter Matt than last week.
And we're here to talk week and wait for the second week in a row.
Fat Matt the River Rat.
That's the thing with John Carpenter, is that he's got really good pop chops. Those themes stick with you. Even Village of the Damned, when he did that one, I was like, yeah, I remember this song. I remember this theme. I haven't seen the movie since the 90s, but that stuck. The only one I didn't recognize was Body Bags. That was it.
You're just saying what other director might do that? Woody Allen probably has the stuff for it, but he couldn't get him to leave New York City.
Triggering the gag reflex. I'm like, triggering the gag reflex.
You think that's bad? When I went to the Golden Knights game, 1 can of Bud Light and 1 can of Miller Lite. So regular cans, $33.
Are you serious?
Serious?
That's strip club prices, man.
That's
Strip
worse.
Strip club. Strip club.
I looked at Paulette and I said, never again.
Pioneer Saloon, that's the name of the bar.
Somewhere his balls are tickling.
Sorry, you're suggesting another streaming service. Fuck you very much.
No.
What he's talking about, though,
It's
actually
video on demand the
exists.
day of. Did I ever tell you my Jim Carrey story
No.
of when I finally got to see my hero at the prize fight? I haven't told the story.
No.
I
Okay,
don't think so.
we're laying this out.
Generally, when you tell these stories, they don't go the way you want them to.
No, they never do. When I was in college, I was a huge Jim Carrey fan.
Right.
Through and through. I had a shrine in my college apartment behind my bed that was just a collage of Jim Carrey stuff. If he was in a magazine, I cut it out to make sure that it was part of that. I worshipped at the feet of Jim Carrey, much to the chagrin of my theater professors.
Were there candles and a stone knife for sacrifices?
Not yet. That came later. But I was a college student. I
I'm
can't
learning
afford much.
something new about you. Right
You didn't know
now.
this?
No.
Wow, I'm surprised I never.
I mean, I visited you in college, but I don't remember ever seeing the shrine. Then again, I never went in your room, so maybe that was why.
Now, before I moved to Vegas, Las Vegas.
You mean the shrine that was in his room that you didn't go into, so you didn't see it?
I see, Jeff. So you were never in his room at college. I understand.
Or you almost saw the shrine?
No, I slept on the sofa.
Oh.
Now, Las Vegas, before I moved here, was a regular family vacation spot. Ever since '84, I came to Las Vegas every year with mom and dad. One of the trips, probably about 94, right in the heavy Jim Carrey craze, right around the time like Mask came out.
So right after In Living Color, but
After Pet Detective, after Mask,
Gotcha.
we're talking
Yeah.
deep. The world had Jim Carrey fever.
sure.
Bruce Almighty. And,
So, Dad had the Review Journal back when it was a decent newspaper, and there was
Before they fired me.
right,
I love how your expression just changed.
and it was
Fucking Review
Mike
Journal.
Tyson fighting somebody. So it's still in the Mike Tyson craze days, and they had in there celebrities expected to attend, and one of them was Jim Carrey. So I'm like, Mom, Dad, you have to drop me off at the MGM, because if he's going to be there, maybe I can like catch him on the crowd coming there, and then I can get his picture or something like that.
How old are you wandering around by yourself in the MGM?
Yes, I'm in college.
Okay. All right.
I'm a sophomore in college.
I was a 4-year-old boy walking through.
1920 then, right?
Where did Kevin Spacey
Yeah.
cut you?
Jesus.
Show us on the Andy where Kevin Spacey touched you.
That was
God
the worst job I
damn.
ever had.
But it paid well.
So there's a huge crowd outside the fight milling about because celebrity watching is a thing
Sure.
in Vegas when these things happen.
Yeah.
And they all come through the long hallway. So I'm seeing celebrities of the time. MC Hammer walks through and so on. I can't remember. He's the only one that I remember. And it's coming about time that the fight's happening. And no one else is coming through. It's on. So I missed him somehow, or he came through some back way, more than likely, that he didn't want to be amongst the crowd. So fine. But it's a Mike Tyson fight, so I'm thinking it might not be long. So I'm going to stick around, and maybe I'll catch him coming out. So, because some of this crowd's already dissipated, there's still some people sticking around, but not the huge crowd it was. So I'm waiting for ages. Apparently it wasn't one of those Mike Tyson fights. And sure enough, the fight's over. People start coming out. It's like, okay, I got the camera ready, and just nothing. Then there's a fervor in the crowd. And the whispers start coming. Jim Carrey. And I'm like, shit, this is it. This is the moment. So I'm watching, waiting, there, and I see the crowd move. I can't see him, but obviously he's there because everything's moving with him. So I rush to where I think he's headed. Down past everybody, and I'm tripping over people and knocking into people, and sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting up front, and soon I got a spot, and here he comes. There he is, Jim Carrey himself, being led by security. I'm like, holy shit. I get close up in front. I take a flash picture. Bam! Jim Carrey's eyes get wide. And that, that look you get when you get that flash in your eyes that's completely disorients you. That's what I did to him. You can just see that the roll of his eyes, that like he didn't know where he was. And security moves him on, and that's it. I'm like, oh, I got to get this developed. I developed the picture. It's a great picture of Jim Carrey, amazing, almost like it was posed for me.
You pissed off Jim Carrey.
And I stuck it on the wall right in the center of my tribute to Jim Carrey, and life went on beautifully.
I don't believe you.
Cut to about 10, 12 years later. Reading an interview with Jim Carrey. And
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
the interviewee asks him the question, is there any time in the height of your fame that you were scared for your life? And he says, there's this one time in a fight in Las Vegas where I was hit with a flashbulb flash that completely disoriented me, and in that moment I didn't know where it was. I didn't know which way I was directing. The security was taking me out, and I thought I was about to be rushed by somebody, and that's the only time I was ever really scared for my life.
Way to go!
And I read that and I thought, yes!
Wow.
Call him up somehow and be like, or send him email. I don't know, something. Or no, actually,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
DM him on Twitter and be like, yeah, that was me.
Call up TMZ. He's like, hey, you want to know who that guy was that scarred Jim Carrey for life? It was me.
And you got the picture to prove it.
That story did not.
What's funny is I don't know where that picture is now. It's
That story did not disappoint. That was good. And after that, he started being an anti-vaxxer.
And it was incredible. It was really a great utility of the technology.
So yeah, when you see Professor Biggs, ask him for his over. What's your Noriega? Write to us. Comments at uglycatshow.com.
Oh, man. We didn't get him.